Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? What's up, Kitty? Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Valerie's in the building. What's up, Valerie? So good to see you, beloved. Timothy's in the building. Millionaire Queen, Sefe, my brother, what's going on? David's in the building. So good to see you, David. Queasy, I see you. I see you. Oh, we're going hard today. Yeah, we're going hard today. You can best believe we're going hard today. Yeah, do me a favor, you guys. Brianna's in the building. What's up, Brianna? So good to see you, beloved. Do me a favor, real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Share the live to your stories, please. Let's get busy getting busy. T Benz is in the building. What's up, T Benz? So good to see you, family. Again, do me a favor, real quick, you guys. Share the live to your stories. Pashan's in the building. Let's go. Charzelle's in the building. Let's go. Nat's in the building. What's up, Nat? So good to see you, beloved. Devin's in the building. What's up, Devin? So good to see you, family. So good to see you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Peace and blessings to you all. What's up, Angie? Golden Orchids in the building. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. Bobby's in the building. Bobby Chris, let's go. What's up, Kev? So good to see you. Again, do me a favor real quick, you guys, and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. All is well, all is well, all is well. Everything is in a mess and all is well. Everything is in a mess and all is well. No, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I get asked that a lot, though. I get asked that at least a couple hundred times a week. I get asked that question. But short answer is no. My brother's a pastor, however, but I am not. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. That part right there, T-Vance. That part right there. That part right there, my brother. That part right there. Honey Man, what's up, Honey Man? So good to see you. Again, you guys, do me a favor. I know we just getting in the room right now. We get ready to get started here pretty quick. Type me in the comments. Silas, what's up, little bro? So good to see you. Type me in the comments. If this is your first time on a live stream with me, type me if this is your very first time seeing me go live. Type me in the comments real quick. My live should come with a warning label. Queen, I appreciate that, beloved. Queen Rose, I appreciate that. My live should come with a warning label. Tara, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Oh, I got you. Yeah, today's live is the one you needed. If you need some words of wisdom, today's live is the one you at the right place. I promise you, you're at the right place. Rock, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Finally caught you coming through the door. What's up, champ? So good to see you. Again, do me a favor. If this is your first time on the live, type me in the comments. If not, this is not your first time, and I don't have to waste time doing an intro. I can just go into what we need to go into. What's up, Yolanda? So good to see you. Daystar's in the building. Happy St. Patrick's Day. What's up, Nicole? So good to see you, beloved. God Soldiers in the building. Let's get it. Red's in the building. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. Yeah, we're going hard today. We're going hard today. We're going in beast mode today. Beast mode today. Beast mode every day, but beast mode today for sure. For anyone that's new to the platform, welcome. My name is Jordan Williams. I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, consciousness, emotional intelligence. I specialize in helping my students, my clients, all over the world to become the greatest, strongest, and most powerful versions of themselves. My purpose in life is to help you find yours, period. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness: How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? This book is a bestseller. It is a game changer. The book is available on Amazon. If you don't already have a copy of it, I would definitely encourage you to pick up a copy. But again, my purpose in life is to help you to discover yours. I've been coaching for over 2 decades now. I've coached some of the most powerful people walking on the face of this earth, from top celebrities, top athletes, top executives, UFC fighters, you name it. I've coached them. I've been a secret weapon for a lot of people. And it was, whether it was God's plan, God's design, place any label on it that you want. But this is one of the places that he wanted me, with respect to bringing self-awareness to the masses, because before I was just behind the scenes, and I would just coach people one-on-one, and I would coach small groups and different things like that. And the results that people were receiving was amazing. But self-awareness is not something that's for a select few. Self-awareness is something, it's your birthright. It's something that everyone should know. It's something that everyone should have access to, period. All of your suffering is coming because you lack self-awareness, beloved. All of your problems are coming because you lack self-awareness. All of your suffering is coming because you lack self-awareness. No other reason. No other reason. All of the pain in your life that you experience is coming because you don't know yourself. Bottom line. Bottom line. I could end the live there. Bottom line. Bottom line. And what you don't realize is that you're already the solution. That's the problem. No one's ever taught you that. So how can I be the solution if I've never known, or if I never learned how to become the solution? That's why you were created. You were created to become the solution. Thank you, beloved. Not just the solution for yourself, but the solution for every single person that you come in contact with, because that's how powerful you are. That's how badass you are. I'm just going to help you to unlock your greatness. I'm just going to help you to unlock what's already there. I'm just going to help you to unlock a version of yourself that you have never experienced in the history of your life. That part I can guarantee you. Can't guarantee you a lot in life. Can't guarantee you that. Can't guarantee you a lot in life. What I can guarantee is this, and every single one of my students will tell you this, and there's probably at least a couple of hundred of them on this platform right now. They will tell you this if they won't tell you anything else. They are standing in the shoes of a version of themselves that is stronger, more emotionally intelligent, more self-aware, masters of themselves. They are standing in the shoes of a version of themselves that they had never been in the history of their life before our paths crossed. Okay, before our paths crossed. That's the whole point. Did I deposit it in them? No, I didn't. I just helped them to unlock what was already there. The greatness was already in them. I just helped them to pull it out, and they did. They did the work and they pulled it out. So and now not only Charles, I appreciate that, beloved. Not only have they become a version of themselves that they have never been, but they're also helping other people to become versions of themselves that they have never been. So the ripple effect is amazing. And no credit to me, there. But credit to my students, credit to the greatness, credit to God, most importantly. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. So that's where it is. So again, my name is Jordan Williams. In case you just walked through the door, I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, emotional intelligence, consciousness. If you stick with me, you'll become the greatest version of yourself. Period. That's the only thing I can tell you. I can't tell you anything else. If you stick with me, you will become stronger than you've ever been, more confident than you've ever been. You'll have more belief in yourself than you've ever been. You'll be a master of self. You'll be self-aware. All of that depression, all of your anxiety, all of the suffering, all of the pain, the imposter syndrome, the low self-esteem, all of that will be wiped away. period. I'm a force multiplier. That's what I am. That's what I was created to be. That's what I am. And but so are you. It's not just me. So are you. Every one of my students, they're all force multipliers. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal people. Having said all of that, let's get busy getting busy. Today is going to require you to empty your cup. What does empty your cup mean? Sit your programming and conditioning down. Sit your ego down. Sit your pride down for just a moment. Sit what you think you know down. Sit your expectations down for just a moment, because your expectations is the mother of all suffering. Sit your expectations down for just a moment. Just for a moment. Okay. Let me just give you a quick news flash. You are not behind in life. It is humanly impossible for you to be behind in your own life. So anytime that you think that you're behind in life, what you're really doing is you're measuring your life against someone else's. You're measuring someone else's success to yours. You're measuring where they are in life to where you are in life. Anytime that you think you're not enough, anytime you think you're behind in life, that's what you're doing. What you have to understand is that God has you moving at the speed of your truth. That's what I need you to understand. Get out of groupthink right now. Stop thinking about what's happening with your kids. Stop thinking about what's happening with your significant other. Stop thinking about what might happen later on at work. Stop thinking about what meal you need to prepare for later on. Stop thinking about who might be in your DMs right now. I can promise you today's conversation will be the most important conversation you ever have in the history of your life. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. With respect to who you are ultimately supposed to become, I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. I promise you, if you sit here for the duration of this live stream, you will tell me that. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. With respect to who you are supposed to become, with respect to your purpose, with respect to your destiny, I can promise you this will be the most important conversation you have. So one more time, God has you moving at the speed of your truth. So you don't need more motivation. You need more truth in your life. You got to get all of the falsehoods out of your life, all of the illusions out of your life, all of the hope stories out of your life, all of the one day they might become stories out of your life, all of the I see your potential stories. Get all of that out of your life. God is blessing your life based upon the speed of your truth. So you don't need more motivation. You need more truth in your life. When there's more truth in your life, your life will be abundant. And the truth starts with you. The truth starts with you operating out of your authenticity. Because God will never bless who you pretend to be. Period. He's not trying to bless the version of yourself that you promote yourself as on Instagram, and then you turn around in the dark and you transform into a lesser version of yourself. Today's talk will help you dissolve mind identification. It will help you weaken the pull of thoughts so that they can't just keep pulling you into more suffering. Today's talk will help you step out of the ideas and the thoughts about who you are, what life is, what you think you want, what should happen, what shouldn't happen, right? Because it's from that mindset that all of your suffering is coming. So today we will deep dive into your real being. Beyond the prison of your programming and conditioning, So the duration of this live stream, I just need you to relax. Let the words guide you. Don't focus on where you think you need to be next. Don't allow your mind to be split. Don't try to interpret what you think I'm saying. Just listen with your spiritual ears. Again, let the words guide you inward. That's the only place you're going to discover yourself. In this moment, your thinking is not valuable. What do you mean, coach? My thinking is not valuable. It's not. Your thinking is everything you've already experienced. Your thinking is everything you've experienced leading up to this moment. No value. Your thinking carries no value in this moment. So the moment you start applying your thinking to what I'm saying, you contaminate what I'm saying. Then you're going to misinterpret what I'm saying. Then it's going to take you somewhere that you should have never been. Your thinking can only pollute this space. That's all it can do. But not only will your thinking pollute this space, your thinking pollutes all spaces, because 80% of the time your thinking is not necessary, but we think 100% of the day. Just make that make sense. You're never not thinking. That's the problem. Your thinking is what creates all the problem, because you don't have mastery over your mind. You think your way into depression. You think your way into fear. You think your way into anxiety. You think your way into frustration. You think your way into unhappiness. Am I making some sense now? You think yourself into limiting beliefs. You think yourself into doubt. All of these things are the byproduct of your thinking. Going back to my original point, your thinking is not valuable here. It's not valuable in this moment. If you're getting ready to put your car in reverse and back out of the driveway, your thinking is necessary. So if you're not backing the car out of your driveway right now, then your thinking is not valuable in this moment. Suffering occurs because we don't know ourselves. Period. That's why you suffer. You can talk to every therapist in the country, every psychiatrist in the country, doesn't matter who you talk to. You can talk to every pastor at every church. You suffer because you don't know yourself. Suffering and self-knowledge cannot go hand in hand. Humanly impossible. When I know myself, no suffering. When I don't know myself, suffering. So how can I place 5-star value on myself if I don't even know myself yet? I haven't even discovered myself that deeply. So what am I placing value on? Yeah, I respect myself. Yeah, I know myself. Yeah, I this and I that. Okay, what are you placing value on? 9 out of 10 people on this app haven't met themselves that deeply. And I don't mean just in this chat. I'm talking about on the app, period. Suffering means I've misplaced my sense of identity. Suffering means I am ignorant of my true nature. Suffering means I am unaware of what I am. Suffering means I am unaware of whose I am. I don't even know whose I am. Yeah, I say I know God, but I'm riddled with fear. Yeah, I say I love God, but I got all this anxiety in me. Yeah, I say I love God, but I'm stressed out all the time. Yeah, I say I know God, but I'm unhappy. Yeah, I say I know God, but I spiral into depression. But I know him, coach. How? Because those sentences cancel each other out. Suffering occurs because we don't know ourselves. Because if you knew yourself, there would be no depression. If you knew yourself, there would be no unhappiness. If you knew yourself, there would be no anxiety. If you knew yourself, there would be no fear. If you knew yourself, there would be no limiting beliefs because you would know what you come from. You would know why you're here. You would know what your purpose is. You would be perfectly aligned with that. You wouldn't need somebody to pump you up. You wouldn't need a coach. You wouldn't need a therapist. You wouldn't need a pill. You wouldn't need a drink. You wouldn't need a drug. You wouldn't need to smoke anything because you would know why you're here. You would be unconditional love in this moment. You would not be looking for anything outside of yourself. That's where I'm trying to get you to. Will you stop looking outside of yourself for anything because you understand you showed up fully contained? I'm going to qualify that today. When you leave this app today, when you leave this live today, there will be no misunderstandings in your mind. Now, what you do with the information after that is on you. Won't be no misunderstandings. I can bet you that. I guarantee it. You won't have a single misunderstanding. Do me a favor, you guys, and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Let's get the likes up so that we can get the medicine out. Again, do me a favor and share the live to your stories, please. If you haven't already done so, or repost the live or whatever it is you guys want to do with it. But you guys know we got to put in the work. I'm going to do my job. I'm getting ready to disrespect this whole TikTok live. Just let you know that now. I'm getting ready to disrespect this whole live. You won't be able to follow this up. I don't know who's going to shoot another live today, but they won't be able to follow this one. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. And that's exactly how you should feel when you walk through life. That's exactly how you should feel. Once you set that standard, nobody else can follow the standard that you set, whether that's some standard in the relationship, whether that's some standard for your life, whether that's some standard that you have for yourself at the gym, whether that's some standard that you have for yourself. Once I walk out the door, that's it. You won't follow this today. I'm setting the blueprint everywhere I go. That's mindset, beloved. I set the blueprint everywhere I go. When I'm at the gym, I'm the baddest one in there. If I'm sitting with my beloved, I'm going to be the best significant other she could ever have in her presence. When I walk in that restaurant, I walk in the door like God sent me. When I walk out of that bank, I walk out of the bank like I own it. This is what I'm saying to you. This is all mindset. Not waiting for anybody to hand me anything. You are the asset that produces everything. What are you waiting on somebody to hand you something for? You are an asset. That's all you do is produce. You've been producing since the day you were born. So all you do is produce. We can't even put a label on what you are because all you do is produce. Jalen, what's up, Jalen? That's all you do is produce. What else do you do? But here's the problem. Sometimes you produce positively and sometimes you produce negatively. Sometimes you might go and you produce that job. Sometimes you might go and produce the relationship. Sometimes you might go and produce the house. Sometimes you might go and produce a circle of friends, but you also produce your problems, but you also produce the anxiety, but you also produce the depression. What I'm trying to do is get you to stop producing the negative things, just keep producing the positive. That's what God wants you to do. Because you are the one that produces the fear. You are the one that produces the happiness, but you also produce that house, but you also produce that car, but you also produce your quality of life, but you also produce the quality of life that you give it to your kids. You are a master producer. Stand on what you are. That's the problem. You didn't let somebody trick you into believing you just this tiny little human being. It's just me. That's all I am. I'm a secretary, I'm a nurse, I'm just this coach. No, your greatness personified. We marvel at rockets, but the rockets come from your mind. We marvel at the Rolls Royce, but the Rolls Royce comes from your mind. We marvel at the high rise, but the high rise comes from your mind. We marvel at the bridge, but the bridge comes from your mind. What the hell are you doing marveling at all of creation when you should start marveling at the fact that you are the one capable of creating any life you want for yourself? Wish I would marvel at some building. Wish I would marvel at some car. Wish I would marvel at some watch when I carry the same software, the same equipment, capable of creating anything that I want at any time that I want. We said, oh my God, I like your outfit. Oh my God, do you not know what you are? Do you not know what you are? Or have you gotten desensitized to what you are? Is that the problem? Because if you desensitize to your own greatness, that can only mean that the people around you are desensitized to your greatness as well. Because you set the blueprint. You set the blueprint. I wish I would be walking around here. Oh my God, I can't believe this. And oh, they got a that. And this person has a this. And look at this house. You need to be in the lab figuring out how am I going to produce mine? Period. Let me say this because this is very important. The cause of your suffering is not because of what you experience. In the history of your life, the cause of your suffering has never come because of what you experience, which means that the solution to your suffering is also not experiencing something else. Because you still haven't discovered who you are when you change the external world. You still haven't discovered yourself, beloved. And that's what we're doing. We're running around. We're trying to change what's happening on the outside. No, change you. You don't need to change anything from an external perspective. Change you. When we don't know ourselves, everything causes suffering. But when we know ourselves, nothing can cause you to suffer. Don't ever forget that. All right, let's get busy. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. That was the appetizer. Janelle, what's up, beloved? I got a message coming for you too. I got a message coming for you, beloved. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. That was the appetizer. Let's get busy. What I'm getting ready to give you is divine intelligence. Juliet, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Yeah, Janelle, you're welcome, beloved. What I'm getting ready to give you is it's divine intelligence at the highest level. Again, real quick, you guys, before I dive into this live, do me a favor and share the live. What's up, Cody? So good to see you, family. So good to see you, Cody. I always miss you when you're coming in. I'm so happy I caught you. So good to see you. What's up, Rich? So good to see you. Sandy's in the building. Let's go. Again, what I'm getting ready to give you is divine intelligence at the highest level. You'll never forget this conversation. You will never forget this one. You will never forget this one. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. You got to listen with your spiritual ears. Your programming and conditioning won't fit this conversation. All of your thinking won't fit this conversation. Who you think you need to be for the world won't fit this conversation. All right. Ready? Here we go. Whatever you make excuses for, you will never conquer. This is divine intelligence at the highest level. I need you to think about yourself right now. I need you to get locked in on you, get out of groupthink, get all them people out your mind right now. Or you're going to miss this whole message. And for some of you guys, which means that you may not discover what your purpose is. I'm getting ready to show you what your purpose is. I'm getting ready to take you to what that is. Whatever you make excuses for, you will never conquer. Never. Just think about that. And whatever you refuse to own, you cannot change. If you buy a smartphone, for my students, I need you guys to give me light bulb emojis so that I know you following me. I'm just talking to my students right now. If you're not one of my students, what I'm saying don't even apply to you. I'm talking to the Mindset Masters family. Okay. Cody, I need you locked in. Lynetta, I need you locked in, beloved. Sandy, I need you locked in. Worthy, I see you. Joanna, I see you. I need you guys to get this example locked in your mind. Cat Lover, I see you, beloved. Leticia, I see you, beloved. Definitely, I see you. So for all of the Mindset Masters family, Tracy, I see you, beloved. Blessed, I see you. For all of the Mindset Masters family, I just need you to just run this example in your mind. If you buy a smartphone, I want you to picture in your mind right now, you walking into an Apple store right now in this moment. Picture that in your mind's eye. Let's run a counterfactual simulation. Picture you walking. It's a beautiful day. Nothing's wrong. You ain't got no problems. Nothing is out of alignment in your life. Everything is going exactly how you need it to go. You just going to pick up a new phone. You walking into the Apple store to go and get a brand new phone. Picture yourself doing that in your mind right now. So if you buy a new smartphone, it comes loaded with more functions than you can use. You may only use 10% of what it can do. But the manufacturer did not design it with your laziness in mind. They designed it with its full potential in mind. You may never access its abilities, not because they weren't there, but because you never disciplined yourself to learn them. I said you never disciplined yourself to learn how the phone works. You should already know where I'm getting ready to go with this. Many people are operating at 10% of their divine potential, just like that phone. I said many people are operating at only 10% of their divine potential, just like that phone. Not because God withheld anything, but because they refused the discipline, they refused the discipline required to unlock what he had already placed inside of them. Think about what I'm saying to you. Now, the person walking around here, you got this smartphone in your hand. You only using 10% of what the phone can really do. But the same mindset that you bring to the phone is the same mindset that you bring to your life. You walking around here operating at 10% of your divine potential. God is looking at you like, what are you doing? I'm stuck and I don't have the life I want and I don't have the this and I don't have the that. He's like, beloved, you're operating at 10% of your potential. And you're bringing that same mindset that you bring to that phone in your hand. It's the same mindset that you bring into your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So one more time, many people are operating at 10% of their divine potential, not because God withheld anything, but because they refused the discipline required to unlock what he had already put inside of them. You are not waiting on greatness. Greatness is waiting on your discipline. Every time you say, this is who I will become, whether you're doing that at the start of the year for some New Year's resolution, right? Or some mindset, some epiphany you have when you tell yourself, this is who I'm getting ready to become. You are not just speaking to yourself in that moment, beloved. You are also testifying before God, before creation, and before your own destiny. God is listening to every time you say, this is who I'm getting ready to become. But what he's paying attention to, will she do it this time? Will he do it this time? Here's the tragedy. Here is the tragedy, beloved. Most people never become who they said they would be. That is the greatest tragedy of mankind. Most people never become who they said they would be. Not only do they not become who they said they would be, they don't become who God created them to have the potential to become. Who they said they would be was just a reflection of something that they may have seen on social media, something that they may have seen in some movie, something that they may have seen. So like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Okay, that's wonderful. But that person, even then, was still operating far less and far beneath what God knew that that person could become. So one more time, most people never become who they said they would be. Not because God failed, not because life was unfair, but because they never forced themselves into alignment with the future that they saw. Never did it. Let me explain this. This is important before I pull off any further. Let me explain what the word force in awareness means. Let me tell you what force in awareness means. And it's important because you're going to hear me say that word force a lot. So if you're one of them people that your mind is easily distracted, please write this down so I don't have to keep repeating myself. The word force in awareness simply means applied pressure in the direction of intention. That's what force in awareness means. Applied pressure in the direction of intention. That's it. If you add anything extra to it, you're going to contaminate what I just said. To force yourself simply means to apply pressure to your mind, beloved. Apply pressure to your habits. Apply pressure to your emotions. Apply pressure to your time. Apply pressure to your environment. Apply pressure to that person giving you less than you deserve. Apply pressure to that job that you say that you don't like every day. Apply pressure to yourself, most importantly. Apply pressure when you get in the gym. Apply pressure when you are around your friends, because pressure is the only thing designed to pull what's in you out of you. There should be pressure in every area of your life. I'm putting pressure on my relationship because pressure is what's going to turn it into a diamond. I'm putting pressure on my job because pressure is what's going to turn that into a diamond. I'm putting pressure on my friends so that they can become something better than they are. They don't settle for who they used to be. I'm putting pressure on myself, most importantly. I'm putting pressure on my mind. I'm putting pressure on my goals. I'm putting pressure on my dreams. I'm putting pressure on my kids because pressure, I didn't say stress. I said pressure, because pressure is the only thing designed to pull what's in you out of you. Nothing else will. You need pressure. And most of you guys are under pressure because you're too busy being under stress. That's the real problem. You under stress. That job stressing you out, the kids stressing you out, your friends stressing you out, your significant other stressing you out, the world stressing you out, politics is stressing you out. You ain't got no time for the pressure because you're too busy being under stress. You apply pressure, Pashan, apply pressure to everything. I said apply pressure. I appreciate that, beloved. See, that's the problem. When you ain't applying pressure, the thing ain't transforming. When you're not applying pressure to the relationship, it's not going to transform. When you're not applying pressure to yourself, it's not going to transform. The same thing with that diamond. Without the pressure, it never becomes the diamond, beloved. It ain't gonna ever become the diamond without the pressure. The pressure is what makes it the diamond. So how you gonna become the diamond in your life and you ain't got no pressure on you? How's the relationship gonna become the diamond and there's no pressure? How you gonna get the 5-star body at the gym but you ain't put no pressure on yourself? How you gonna have the life that you want but you ain't put no pressure on your mind? You ain't got no pressure on you. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. Neptune, I appreciate that, family. I appreciate that. No, you apply pressure. Period. I'm a walking, talking diamond, not because I'm more special than you, but because I apply pressure to myself. I expect excellence if I'm going to show up, I'm bringing excellence to the situation. Because I got two choices. I can bring mediocrity to the situation or I can bring excellence to the situation. It's always a choice. I tell you guys this all the time. Stop settling for good when great was an option that was available to you as well. Stop doing that. You cannot settle for good when great was on the table as well. You cannot settle for good when excellence was on the table as well, but you settle for good. But then you wonder why you don't have the 5-star life because you're too busy settling for a life that's beneath your potential. I'm talking to high achievers right now. If you don't want a lot out of your life, you might as well scroll down the street. They dancing down the street. They doing TikTok dances. They might be break dancing down the street. They doing other things down the street. If you want a lukewarm life, this is not the live stream for you. If you can't handle the truth, this is not the live stream for you. If you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror, this is not the live stream for you. I'd rather you spend your time watching people do the latest dance on TikTok. Cody, I appreciate that, my brother. This is for people that are pursuing greatness. If you're not pursuing greatness again, this is you. You might as well waste, don't waste your time. It's a better place for you. Just ain't the place. Brianna, I know what you're going after in life. I know she's going after greatness. I know Lynetta going after greatness. I know that personally. I know Danelle is going after greatness. I know that personally. I know Red is going after it. I know that personally. I know Cefe is going after it. I know that personally. You got to know what you're going after in life. You can't hit a target that you don't have, beloved. So one more time, the word force in awareness means apply pressure in the direction of intention. Again, you're going to hear me say that word force a lot. Force has a negative connotation to it when it comes to worldly knowledge, like somebody forcing you to do something. This is not that. So please understand that. To force means to simply apply pressure to your mind, your habits, your emotions, your time, your environment, and your decisions. So they move toward the highest intention. That's why I need to apply the pressure. That's why I need to apply that force, because so I can move toward the highest intention. I'm applying force everywhere. Period. I'm a force multiplier. What you mean you're not applying force? And you a force. I said, God created you to be a force multiplier. You have to apply force everywhere you go. That's like a hammer. A hammer is going to bang something. That's what it was created to do. It's going to bang something. So if you are a force multiplier, and you are, I have to apply force, pressure everywhere I go on everything that I have going on. Most importantly, on my mind. Most importantly, on my beliefs, especially the limiting beliefs, on my habits, on what I do in the dark. I've got to apply that pressure to myself. Lynn, I appreciate that, beloved. Your future is waiting on your obedience. Your future is waiting on your decisions. You must force yourself to become the version of you that you announced, beloved. Figure out in your mind right now in this moment, figure out in your mind, who is that version of yourself that you are ultimately getting ready to become, and then say no to everything that isn't that. That's where we start. I tell you guys this all the time. I became this version of me before ever became this version of me, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I said no to everything that didn't align with this version of me. And then guess what I became? This version of me. So figure out in your mind who it is that you get ready to become, and then say no to anything that isn't that. That's where we start. Every product comes with a purpose built into it. A chair is designed to sit. A car is designed to get you from point A to point B. A seed is designed to become a tree. The design reveals the destiny. The design reveals the destiny. So when God designed you, he already built inside of you everything necessary to become the person he intended for you to be. It's already in you. It's not outside of you. But here's the point not to be missed. Potential is not automatic. Potential must be activated by discipline. And purpose must be protected by consistency. Potential activated by discipline. Purpose activated by consistency. Both of those things you in possession of right now. You cannot hope your way into becoming who you said you would be. Hope reveals, discipline manifests, vision inspires. Hope reveals, discipline manifests, vision inspires. So the only thing that's going to manifest the life that you want is discipline, but it's the one thing that he equipped you with. You're not missing that. You got a river of it flowing through you right now. You got oceans of it in you right now. You cannot drift into greatness, beloved. It don't work like that. What, you gonna just fall into greatness one day? How's it gonna happen? He put 5-star belief in you, 5-star faith in you, 5-star loyalty in you, 5-star discipline in you, 5-star unconditional love in you, 5-star belief in you. He put the best of everything in you already. You're not missing anything. It's what you choose to bring to the moment that's built the life that you have right now. You bringing the lukewarm version of you to the moment? You bringing yesterday's version of you to the moment? Who's the spokesperson for you? The future version of you or yesterday's version of you? Who's holding the steering wheel of who you are? Your ego or your essence? Your ego or the spiritual being in you? Who's driving the car? One more time. When God created you, he put everything in you already that you would need to become the version of yourself that you would need to be. Tell me one thing that he did. Tell me one thing that you missing. Because discipline is the only thing that you need to connect you from where you are to where you ultimately want to be. Discipline is what you're missing. It's what 9 out of 10 people walking around on the face of this earth is missing right now. Discipline. You got an ocean of it in you right now. You'll never run out of it like loyalty. You'll never run out of it like belief. You'll never run out of it like faith. You'll never run out of it. Here's the problem. We have faith in the wrong things. We got more faith in what will go wrong with our lives than we do in what will go right. That's a diamond hard fact.
We got more belief in what we can't do than we have belief in what we can. We are more loyal to the wrong things than we are to the right things. That's not his problem, y'all. We ain't gonna sit here and tell that lie. We ain't gonna put that lie on him. That's not his problem. That's why he gave us free will, because you can set any of that down anywhere you want to. And the quality of your life is predicated on where you set your loyalty, where you set your belief, where you set your faith. That part right there, Danelle, that's the bar right there. Pin that what Danelle just said. That's the bar right there. We sitting here blaming him for what we choose. He ain't asked you to be in that toxic relationship. He ain't asked you to stay at that job that you complain about every day. He ain't asked you to sit home every day and watch Netflix when you could be at the gym. He's not telling you to do any of that. All of that's on us. He didn't ask you to settle for the life that you have right now. He ain't asked you to settle for that relationship that you have right now. So one more time. Here's the point not to be missed. Potential is not automatic. It's not just going to unlock for you one day. That's the problem. Your potential, you don't know what your potential is because you ain't allowed discipline to show up yet. You're not disciplined yet. Potential is revealed once discipline steps in the scene. My students should be able to tell you that if they can't tell you nothing else. With them being focused, with them being locked in, I'm going to tell you who's Danelle right there. She's a great example of what I'm saying. So focused, so disciplined, so locked in. She called me the other day, Coach, I discovered my purpose. Her purpose was only discovered through her discipline. Her purpose was discovered through her consistency. Her purpose was discovered through her showing up every day. Her purpose was discovered by her not majoring in minor things. Her purpose was discovered in her making herself the priority. Her purpose revealed itself to her. She didn't have to go looking for it. It came and found her. Period. I couldn't tell you what my purpose was. Couldn't have told you what my purpose was going to be. I had no idea I would ever become this version of yourself. That's what I'm saying. God is like, you ain't going to know nothing until you become disciplined. I don't give a damn how much praying you do. I don't care how much hoping you do. I don't care how many self-help books you read. I don't care how many therapists you talk to. You will never know what I got designed for you until you become the version of yourself and you're on that path to becoming the version of yourself that I created you to be. You are a reflection of what the world has told you to be. You'll never discover what your purpose is that way. Because you can become successful at the wrong things. How will I know I'm successful at the wrong thing? Because you ain't got no happiness in your life. Because you still going to the therapist. Because you got to pop pills in the morning just so that you can wake up and get through your day. Because you got depression in your life. You got anxiety in your life. You got stress in your life. But you got that 5-star job. Oh, I got the house. I'm pushing the Mercedes-Benz on my way to the therapist. That's how you know that you are moving 100% out of alignment with him. Because you got the worldly success, but you don't have spiritual success. You don't feel fulfilled. You feel empty. It's like empty calories. It's like running on a treadmill. Yeah, you look like you're doing something, but you ain't went nowhere. God is like, you just running on the treadmill. You do realize that. I didn't tell you to go get that title. I didn't tell you to go get that degree. I didn't tell you to go get that certification. I didn't tell you to go get any of that. That's what the world told you to go get. That's why you walk around feeling empty. That's why you walk around depressed. That's why you walking around unhappy. That's why you walking around stressed out. That's why you got the therapist number in your phone on speed dial right now, because you're out of alignment with your purpose. I can talk to y'all for 24 hours straight and I would never run out of energy, because your purpose gives you energy. Don't take energy away from you. I'm telling you that. That's how you know. How do you know that you are out of alignment with your purpose? How do you know that you are out of alignment with why God created you? I'll tell you how. You got the job, but you don't feel fulfilled. Yeah, you go do the job. You smile and pretend when you get there. But it's like empty calories for you. You don't feel fulfilled. You feel like something is still missing. Yeah, had a little bit of excitement when you had it. You had a little bit of joy when you first had it, but all of that went away. That's step number one. Yeah, you got the relationship. You got the house. You got the kids running around. You got everything that creates the illusion in someone else's mind that you got the life. People are probably looking at you like, what are you complaining about your life for? Look at the life that you have. But is it the life that God wanted you to live? That's what's important. Is it in alignment with your purpose? Is it in alignment with your mission? Or is it in alignment with what the world said is success? See, we get so caught up in trying to live up to everyone else's definition of success that we never stop to ask ourselves, is this what God wants for my life? That's why you here. You ain't here for no other reason. You're not here. He didn't create you for your significant other, and he didn't create you for your friends. He did not create you for your kids. He did not create you for the people on social media. He created you for himself. Because there was a purpose and a mission that he needed you to come and make sure that that purpose, that mission, that gift, that talent, skill, ability, that book, whatever it is that's in you, whatever that gift is that's in you, that it makes it to the world, it's still sitting on some shelf in the back of your mind. You building someone else's goals and dreams, but you haven't started the process of building your own. Now, you building the hell out of somebody else's business. You building the hell out of it. That's why you stressed out, because you building somebody else's dream. You ain't building your own. I can tell you that now. That's why you stressed out, because you building somebody else's goals and dreams, but you're not building your own. And the same energy that it takes for you to go and build their goals and dreams is the same energy that it takes for you to build yours. No difference in the energy. The only difference is that the people whose goals and dreams you're working for, they tell you what you're worth. They tell you what you deserve. They tell you when to show up. You do it. They tell you when you can go on a vacation. They tell you when you can do this. They tell you when you can go and do that. They tell you how long you can go and have lunch. That part right there, Spark Dre. What's up, beloved? So good to see you. That part right there. Let me just say something. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. I appreciate the gifts. Do me a favor, you guys, and let's do me a favor and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out. That part right there, Brianna, I absolutely love that. Again, what's up, David? Again, do me a favor and share the live to your stories, or repost it if you can. Both have the same impact. What's up, Ray Ray? Yeah, we ain't even we getting ready to go. We still treading water right now. We finna go to the bottom of the ocean. This is about destiny. This is about purpose. This ain't about nothing worldly. Whatever it is that's going on out in the world, we ain't worried about none of that right now. Because you don't master the world in your mind. It doesn't matter what's going on outside of you. You're just gonna be a liability to whatever it is that's happening outside of you. You don't get this mastered first. You are a liability to every single person you come in contact with if you ain't got your mind mastered. Period. Liability, because you're just gonna be reacting to everything. You're going to be seeing the situation through your emotions. You're going to be seeing the situation through your feelings. That's not what they're designed to do. That's the problem. See, when you become self-aware, you move through the world based on alignment. I don't have to think. It doesn't require thinking. It requires alignment. There's just certain things that's going to be in alignment with you, and there's certain things that won't be in alignment with you. There's certain people that are going to be in alignment with you. There's certain people that won't be in alignment with you. Everything's about alignment. Once you start understanding self-awareness, you start to see people as energy and not as people. You start to see people as energy, and you stop putting these labels on them, which are keeping you blind. Stop putting all these titles on them, which is keeping you blind. That's my husband, coach, but he don't act like one. That's my wife, coach, but she don't act like one. That's my best friend, but they talk about you behind your back. The label keeps you blind. Stop seeing people through labels and titles and start seeing people as energy, which is what they are. You either want that energy in your life or you don't. If you want the energy in your life, wonderful. The person is in alignment with you. If you don't want that energy, then you got to get yourself away from it because it's going to derail you somehow, some way. That's what's so important. People fall into 4 categories. That person adds value to you, subtracts value to you, multiply the value that's already there, or they're derailing you somehow, some way. 2 categories are negative, 2 categories are positive. Life is simple. Look at it through that filter. Do they add value or do they take it away? Do they multiply the value that's already there or do they derail me somehow, some way? It's so simple. But then let me tell you what you start doing. You start thinking. You start activating the illusions. You start activating the fantasies. You start activating the hope stories. You start activating the one day they might become stories. And then we lose it. You don't know a person in life that's confused. Nobody's confused. What creates the confusion is you don't like the answer that reality is showing you. That's what creates the confusion. And you take the answer or the solution that reality is giving you, and then you remix it when you start adding your thinking to it. Now you're confused, but you ain't never met a person in your life. You got a quantum computer sitting here. It ain't never confused. It's never confused. The confusion happens when your brain and your heart is out of alignment. That's when the confusion happens. When your heart is saying no, but your brain is saying yes. Confusion. Your heart is saying it's time to leave the relationship, but you sit here thinking about a way to get this person to love you again. Confusion. Your heart is saying it's time to leave this job, but your brain is saying, but what we gonna do and how we gonna figure it out? Confusion. Now you all confused. See, and the beautiful thing about that is that when you become self-aware, you're just going off of alignment. Everything is about alignment. It's nothing to be confused about. You know, everything is about alignment. Alignment. That's what you need. Just alignment. That part right there, all thinking errors. All right, let's get back into it. Yeah, I stay in alignment all day long. So there's nothing to be confused about. You know what I mean? Everything is about alignment. I need to go to the gym. That's alignment. I need to eat clean. That's alignment. I need to drink a certain amount of water. That's alignment. I need to shadow box with the community. That's alignment. I need to be here for my family. The mindset masters. That's alignment. Everything's just about alignment. When you have alignment in your life, there's no depression, there's no reason to be unhappy, there's no stress, there's no worry, there's no doubt, there's no fear. I stay in alignment with God 24 hours a day because I'm talking to him all day. I got an alert on my phone that goes off every hour on the hour and says, check in with your father. Check in. I'm giving them a 5-second conversation. Every hour on the hour, I'm checking in. Just to make sure that I'm in alignment, just to make sure there's not somebody he needs me to talk to, just make sure there's somebody he don't need me to go and touch, make sure that there's something that's not needed of me, because you don't ever know. Every hour on the hour, we talk. So one more time, you cannot drift into greatness. You cannot casually arrive at destiny. Nothing in life moves upward naturally, beloved. Nothing in life moves upward naturally. You must force anything upward. Gravity pulls everything down. And life has its own gravity. Laziness, that's gravity in your life. Procrastination, your fears, your excuses, your emotional instability, your comfort zone, your distractions, and people that want you to stay exactly where you are is the gravity in your life. The same way that gravity is going to pull that rocket back toward the earth, you got certain things in your life that's pulling you down as well. Let me go over that one more time. Gravity pulls everything down. Gravity don't give a damn about your feelings. It don't care about your emotions. It don't care about where you're trying to go in life. Laziness, that's your gravity. Your procrastination, that's your gravity. All of the excuses you make, that's your gravity. Fear, that's your gravity. All of these things are pulling you down back to who you've always been. Your emotional instability, that's your gravity. Your comfort zone, that's your gravity. That's your gravity. All of these distractions that you allow in your life, that's your gravity. The people that want you to remain exactly who you are right now, gravity. Now look at your life through that filter. Look at all the gravity you have in your life. If you do nothing, you will remain nothing. If you change nothing, nothing will ever change. So the question is not, will God make me great? The question is, will you force yourself to cooperate with greatness? That's a question that I have for you right now. For every single one of my students, will you allow yourself, beloved, because I can't do it for you, will you allow yourself to cooperate with greatness, to be in alignment with greatness? That's a single player decision. I want you to write this down. See, one more time, I tell you guys, what does integrity mean? Integrity means that you say one thing in the light and then you do something different in the dark. Integrity means that what's coming out of your mouth doesn't match what happens when there's no one around, when there's no one clapping for you, when there's no cameras, when there's no any of that. So I get what people are saying in the light right now. It's wonderful about what you're saying in the light. That's not the version of you I'm worried about. I'm worried about the version of you when we're not on the chat. I'm worried about the version of you when things aren't going the way you need them to. I'm worried about the version of you and who you become when your money is low. I'm worried about the version of you when you have relationship problems and who you transform into in those moments. That's who I'm worried about, not who you are when you pumped up. I want you to write this down. Take a moment and write this down. Write this down. If you don't write anything else down, write this down. I refuse to be casual. I refuse to be comfortable until I become the person God created me to be. I refuse to be average. I refuse to settle for less than I deserve. I refuse to tolerate disrespect. I refuse to show up small in my own life. I refuse to not pursue my greatness. I refuse to show up small. I refuse to shrink in the presence of certain people. I refuse to not speak my truth. I refuse to not say what needs to be said. I refuse to not show up as the most authentic version of myself. I refuse. And then you stand on that. I said, I refuse. I'm falling on that sword first. Wish I would. I'm falling on that sword first. I refuse to continue to live a life that's far beneath my potential. I refuse. I refuse. All of that starts today. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. We're not even concerned about yesterday because yesterday's not concerned about us. All of that starts today. This is just a whole mindset shift. It all starts today. let me say this to you. What you tolerate, you authorize. I just want you to look at your life through that filter real quick. Just take a moment and look at that. What you tolerate, you authorize. So just look at your late relationship through that filter. Look at the job through that filter. Look at your friendships through that filter. Look at all of the people that talk to you crazy. Just look at it through that filter right there. What you tolerate, you authorize. What you make excuses for, you can never conquer. What you tolerate, you authorize. What you make excuses for, you will never conquer. Let me explain something very important. Humans are the only creatures God created whose future is not determined by biology. Turn your awareness up. I said humans are the only creatures that God created whose future is not determined by biology. A bird doesn't choose to fly. It's wired to. A fish doesn't choose to swim. It's programmed to. But you're different. You're different. You must choose to become who you were born to be. That's a choice you got to make, beloved. He created us different than everyone else. That's a choice. The bird don't have no choice. The fish doesn't have a choice. You do. You can choose to become the greatest version of you, or you can remain who you are right now. That's your choice. You can choose to stay in that toxic relationship, or you can walk out of it. That's your choice. You can choose to stay at that job that you complain about all the time, or you can leave that job and find something better. That's your choice. So you have choices. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you powerful is the fact that you have choices. That might also be your kryptonite, is the fact that you have too many of them. So one more time, you must choose to become who you were born to be. Choice is your greatest power. I said choice is your greatest power, not your relationship. Choice is your greatest power, not your friendships. Choice is your greatest power, not that person you chasing on social media. Choice. Because choice is what determines who you ultimately become. But choice without discipline is just a wish. And many people are full of wishes, not choices. I'm telling you in this moment right now, your greatest power is choice. You can choose to be something greater than you are in this moment. That's your choice. You can choose to walk away from every toxic person in your life. That's your choice. You can choose to leave that job that you complain about. That's your choice. You can choose to transform your body that may have picked up a few pounds. That's your choice. You can choose to change the way you eat. You can choose to change your mind. You can choose to level up your education. You can choose to surround yourself with certain people. You have choices. There is nothing concrete in your life right now. You have choices. That's what makes you powerful. The bird doesn't have choices like we do. The fish doesn't have choices like we do. Nothing has choices like we do. You are where you are in life right now because of your choices. Nothing else. Not because of your circumstances, not because of who your bloodline was, not because of where you were born, but because of your choices. I appreciate that, beloved. Your choices have you, your life right now in this moment is the culmination of every choice you have ever made, period. That life that you're waking up to, that's a choice. The body that you're waking up to, that's a choice. That person that you're waking up to, that's a choice. Where you live right now, your quality of life, all choices. Your level of education, that's a choice. Who you allow to have access to you, that's a choice. Ain't none of that predetermined. All of those are choices. Because I don't like my life. Well, you need to change the mindset that's creating the life that you don't like. That's what we change. Don't blame life. Life is like, what is you blaming me for? You making choices and decisions that don't align with what God wants you to do. That's why you don't like your life. Pin what Cody just said. I missed your question, Cody. I don't know if you had a Tara, do me a favor, beloved, and pin what Cody. I missed it. Yeah, I was. And see, what we don't understand is that all goes back to I was born poor. I was born a whole different level of poor. I don't know what I don't, and we don't have to get into comparison and who grew up the worst and who grew up to this, who grew up to that. But I can be completely honest with you. I have a different color Lamborghini for every day of the week. I'm not bragging because it's the truth. Every day of the week, I drive a different color car. What's the point that I'm trying to make here? I grew up food stamps. I grew up single mother. I grew up government cheese. I grew up having to borrow my brother's clothes, even though they didn't fit me, to go to school. Poor as I don't know what. I'm telling you now. So all of that, what happened and what your environment was and what the circumstances was, have absolutely nothing to do with who you become. I'm telling you now. They got nothing to do with it. Those are all excuses that we make to keep us small, excuses that we make so that we don't blow up, excuses that we make so that we can justify why we are where we are and why we don't have what we have and all of these other things like that. Those are all excuses. And excuses don't build empires. Last time I checked, you can choose right now to transform your mind into the most powerful mindset in the world. That's why the Barnes and Nobles is the emptiest place in the world. Every library is the emptiest place in the world. You got a smartphone in your hand right now, but we don't use the smartphone to make us smarter, even though it has the power to. We use the smartphone to track other people. We use the smartphone to scroll on social media. We use the smartphone for everything but making us smart. I transformed, let me say it to you this way. I transformed myself into this version of me. This version of me, is not born anywhere in the history of this planet. In the history of this planet, nobody becomes this version of themselves. No one does. And that's what, so when God is saying we're all created equal, that's what he's talking about. What he's talking about is we can all become self-aware. We can all become masters of self. We can all master our mind. We can all master our environment. We can master manifestation. We can master anything that we want to master. We can do that. And they don't teach this anywhere. So it's not like you got to go to Harvard, you got to go to Yale, you got to get a certain GPA. You got to be this person and come from this bloodline. All BS. I can promise you right now, if you spend 6 months with me, you'll be pushing Lamborghini, you'll be pushing Ferrari, you'll be pushing everything you want in life. I can promise you that. I've been doing this since I was 17, 18 years old. See, when you don't have burning desire, you're not going to become much in life. I'm just being honest with you. You got to have a burning desire to become something great. I have desire. I don't care where you put us, whether you put us at the bottom of the ocean, whether you put us on top of the moon, you put us in a rocket, you put us on the other side of the world. I don't give a damn where you put us. We're going to be in the top 1% wherever it is we are. That's mindset. You ain't got that mindset. You ain't going to be a whole lot. You sitting and waiting on the world to give you something. I'm not waiting on anybody to give me anything. I transform myself into every single version of me. And I've done many things and own many different businesses. Businesses that I didn't know anything about, like the version of myself that I am right now. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know anything about this. This found me. I didn't find it. So when it comes to that, when people say, oh, well, I grew up poor. You didn't grow up as poor as I did. Trust me when I tell you that. Because we didn't have our lights on half the time. I was so poor when we grew up that we would have to take an extension cord from the neighbor's house who was able to pay their bills and was able to keep the lights on, plug an extension cord into their outlet just so that we can have lights in our house. Heat in our house meant turning on the turning on the oven and turning the heat up in the oven and letting the heat from the oven heat your house. That's how I grew up. So when people tell me, oh, well, my environment and this and that, I'll just kind of look away because you're using excuses now. I'm telling you, I grew up a whole different level of poor, whole different level. See, but you got to understand that poor is a mindset. As long as you keep saying poor, that's your mindset. You're gonna always be poor as long as your mindset is that. Your mindset is set to poor. I thought I was rich even when I didn't have anything. I had Ferrari goals and dreams before I ever had the cars. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's when you have that broke mindset, you ain't gonna ever do. That's the problem. Your mindset is poor. Your situation is only a reflection of your mindset. When your mindset is poor, you're gonna always be poor. Damn near every billionaire I know. Tony Robbins grew up poor. What does that? What does that mean? Oprah grew up poor. She's one of the wealthiest women in the world. What does that mean? Poor don't mean nothing. What does that mean? People throw that out there like it means something. That doesn't mean anything. If anything, I think it gives you the greatest advantage. To be completely honest with you, growing up poor gives you the greatest advantage. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Growing up poor gives you a greater advantage than you growing up in a mansion. I can guarantee it. I can qualify it right now. I've had to do it before. Growing up poor gives you a greater advantage than someone that grew up rich. Period. Because let me give it to you in a way I know you can't miss it. My nephews grew up rich. Maids, butlers, Rolls Royces, mansions, celebrity neighbors, the whole 9 yards. They never had to work for anything. They don't know what struggle is like. They don't know what pain is like. They went to the best schools, got the best education, all of these things. Guess what my uncle did? My uncle, when they turned 18, he put them out. He got them a regular apartment. Now they had their own apartment, a regular apartment, but they didn't have grind. They didn't know what struggle was like. They didn't know what pressure was like. They didn't know what any of these things were like because they never had to deal with any of that because they had all of that has been given to them. That was a normal part of my life. Struggle, stress, not knowing where your next meal is going to come from, having to be creative with your clothes and having to be creative with your mindset and having to be creative and know how to navigate certain environments and different things like that. But having people skills, knowing how to market yourself and package yourself. That's why I love fashion, because I didn't have anything. I had to be creative when it came to clothes. So when I got money, it was nothing for me to go and buy the stuff that I wanted. But before I ever had money, I could take an outfit and make it look like it was $1 million outfit. It might have been something to come out of a Walmart. Right? Just being real. I don't need fancy. Like I can go do it with the most basic. You can take me to a thrift store and I'm gonna walk out there with an outfit that you would have like, damn, you got that out of there? Yeah, absolutely. That's growing up poor. So it's your greatest advantage. But you won't see it that way if your mindset poor. All right, let me get back into this live. I'm telling you, growing up poor was a gift. I don't want that life that my uncle gave my nieces. I wouldn't want that life for anything in the world. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He crippled them. And most people that have grown up that never had to work, never had to do anything are crippled. They can only inherit. They only know how to take. They're not very cultured. They're not very social. They're always weird. They're always awkward kind of people. I don't want that. I want that. I will get it on my own because it's gonna mean so much more when you go get it on your own. All right, let's get back into this. Yeah, I mean, everything is just expected. You know what I mean? So when the moment that they hit adversity, the moment they hit struggle, the moment that something doesn't go the way that they think it should be they fold. They stressed out, they depressed, they all of these things. I'm like, damn, y'all grew up with $1 million lifestyle, but you stressed out, you depressed every single day. Why? Because they never had to go through anything, and that's why I love the life because it gives me a greater appreciation. I can appreciate it. All right, let's get busy getting business. Let's get back into this.
Okay. So let me say this real quick. You have to refuse to settle for the version of yourself that life is trying to hand you. For some of you guys, life is trying to hand you a completely different version of yourself, whether that's your significant other, whether that's your friends, whether that's your family, and them trying to impart, whatever their ideas, thoughts, and opinions might be on who you should become. It's so important for you to, like I said again, you must refuse to settle for the version of yourself that life is trying to hand you. Your purpose will not come to you. You must press into it. I had to press into my purpose. Destiny will not fall on you. You must pull yourself into it. God gives you the vision, but you must bring the discipline. God supplies potential, but you must supply structure. God reveals purpose, but you must build the habits. It's a synergistic relationship. God assigns destiny, but you must bring the focus and concentration. Many people pray for change while maintaining the same patterns. You praying for all this change, but you got the same patterns. All this change you praying for, but you got the same routines. All this change that you're praying for, but you're still hanging on to who you used to be. Nothing in your life will change until your patterns do. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not gonna change your patterns, you might as well just do whatever it is you plan on doing with your life. Because I can tell you right now, you will not be in a life. Nothing in your life will change until your patterns do. Because your patterns really speak to who you are. It doesn't matter what you say out of your mouth. Doesn't matter what your vision board says. Doesn't matter what the little affirmations say when you go in the bathroom. What matters is, what are your patterns? Because your patterns is where the truth lives. Hear me clearly when I say this. What you refuse to own, you cannot change. What you tolerate, you authorize. What you make excuses for, you will never conquer. Let me say something about a decision. A decision is a commitment to a future expressed through discipline in the present. That's one of the most important sentences I'll ever say to you. A decision is a commitment to a future expressed through discipline in the present. If you cannot discipline the present, you cannot secure your future. I'm going to say that 3 times in a row. If you cannot discipline the present, you cannot secure your future. That should scare the hell out of you. If there's anything in life that should scare you, it should be that right there. If you cannot discipline your present, you will never secure your future. How you going to secure the next moment if you can't secure the one you're standing in now? How you going to master the next moment if you can't master the one you're standing in? How you going to dominate your life if you can't dominate your moment? How you going to do it? When your life is just a series of moments combined. One more time. If you cannot discipline the present, you cannot secure your future. When God gives you a glimpse of who you could be, He's not showing you something to admire. He's not trying to impress you. He's showing you something that you can become. That picture of your future is not a dream, it's a prophecy. It's an announcement of your potential. It's a photograph of your destiny. But the picture comes with responsibility. You must force yourself, one more time,
Force means to apply pressure. You must force yourself to grow into that picture. You must force yourself to develop the habits that match the person that you saw. You must force yourself to leave environments that contradict your future. That's where we park the car. You have to leave every single environment that contradicts your future. Remove yourself from people that contradicts your future. Remove yourself from the thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors that are out of alignment with your future, that contradict your future. That's where we start. You have to remove yourself from environments, people, situations that contradicts your future. You must force yourself to stop entertaining conversations that weaken your momentum. You must force yourself to build systems that support your destiny. That part's on you. I have entire systems in place that support my destiny. I have systems in place that support who I'm going to become today, who I'm going to become tomorrow. And I can tell you exactly who I'm going to become. Because I have systems in place, not because I'm special, but because I have systems in place. If you have no systems in place, you're like a city without walls. In a city without walls, anybody can conquer. Anyone can distract. Anybody can derail you. Do me a favor real quick, you guys. Let's get the likes up so that we can get the medicine out. Do me a favor and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Share the live to your stories, please. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. Lynetta, I see you, beloved. I'm telling you, I'm giving you divine intelligence right now. This is not my opinion. This is not my opinion. You need systems in place. You need to remove yourself from everything that contradicts where you are going. That goes for your habits. That goes for your routines. That goes for whatever it is that's in your browser history. That goes for who you transform into when there's no one else around. You have to remove every single thing from your life that contradicts where you are going next. And then you need systems in place that secure your destiny. What time are you waking up in the morning? How many days a week are you going to be working out? Who are the people you shadow box with? Who are your mentors? Who are your accountability partners? Who are those people that you are putting those guardrails around you to make sure that you stay in alignment with who you are ultimately becoming? You don't just fall into greatness. I'm telling you now. You will only become who you train yourself to be. And whoever it is you are in this moment, you trained yourself to be this version of you. Say you're a slow learner when it comes to wisdom. I got you, beloved. Yeah, you're going to only become who you train yourself to be. I'm telling you that now. That don't matter. I don't give a damn if you go into the Olympics. If you are a world-class boxer, you will only become who you train yourself to be. The boxer that wins that match is the one that trains the hardest. The boxer that wins the Olympics is the one that trains the hardest. Not the one that is the most attractive, not the one who's the tallest, not the one who's the smartest, the one who trains themselves to be exactly what they went after. You got to look at your life that way. What are you training for? That's the most important question in the world. What are you training for? I'm in training right now. Literally, I'm training right now for something greater to come later. I'm training right now. I'm in training right now. Every time I show up, I'm training. I'm not just here. Everything I do is with the highest level of intentionality. Everything I do, I don't just do things. Everything has to be in alignment with my purpose. Everything has to be in alignment with who I'm ultimately becoming. Yeah, you got to be in training, man. Like, what are you training for? This one is big. You know, when I say you have to stop entertaining conversations that drain your momentum. It's just that serious. Like you have to stop entertaining the conversations, beloved, that drain your momentum, right? So let's use a metaphor real quick. Make sure we don't miss the point. If a manufacturer gives you the key to a car, the manufacturer walks up, hands you the key to a car. That car belongs to you. But if you never learned how to drive the car, never took the time to learn how to drive it, the car will sit in your garage while you walk to work. Many people have destiny sitting in the garage of their mind because they refuse to unlock the discipline required to drive it. You got destiny parked in your mind, potential parked in your mind, greatness parked in your mind, not because God didn't put it there, but because you didn't bring the discipline needed to unlock it. You didn't bring the consistency needed to unlock it. Those are the keys. Your discipline is the key to your future, beloved. Your consistency is the key to your potential. You showing up every day is the key to unlocking your greatness. These things don't cost you money. They cost you energy. The same energy you using to watch people on social media, the same energy you using to complain about your life, the same energy you using to focus on what's missing from your life, the same energy is the same energy that could have brought you the life that you wanted. Same energy. One more time. If a manufacturer, just picture that in your mind. If a manufacturer hands you the keys to a car, the car belongs to you. But if you never take the time to learn how to drive the car, just never took the time, you're going to walk to work. Not because there was something wrong with the car, but because there was something wrong with you. Many people have destiny sitting in the garage of their minds, but they refuse to unlock the discipline required to unlock it. God gave you the keys already, beloved. He already gave you the keys. The ideas, those are your keys. The gifts he put in you, those are your keys. Your passions, those are your keys. Your visions, those are your keys. Your discipline, that's your key. The energy, that's your key. Your belief, that's your key. Your faith, that's your key. These are all your keys to unlock everything that's in here. And every person that you marvel at, every person that you've ever said, oh my God, they're so this and they are so that, they only unlock something that you have the potential to unlock as well. See, this is what I'm saying to you. Every time you see someone that's great, every time you see someone that's achieved some major thing, the reason why you see the greatness in them is because the greatness that you see in them also lives in you. That person is only carrying a reflection of something that you have the potential to do. Every single person that comes in and out of your life is only showing you a reflection of some potential that you have, of something that you can become as well. I don't give a damn if you see them on TV, if you see them in some movie, if the people at NASA, it doesn't matter. Every single person that you marvel at that person because you also understand that the greatness that's in them is also the same greatness that lives in you. There's no degree of separation. The only difference is that they applied discipline and you didn't. What separates you from the people that have this 5-star lifestyle that we all marvel at is discipline. Discipline is the only thing that has you disconnected from the person that you are and the person that you ultimately want to be. Discipline is the bridge. Ain't no other bridge. No other bridge. I didn't have to go to Harvard to become this version of me. I just needed to apply the discipline. I didn't have to go to Yale. I just needed to apply the discipline. I didn't have to go find some guru at the top of the mountain. I just needed to apply the discipline. I'm who I am today because of discipline. I show up for you guys. I'm discipline personified. I show up for you guys Monday through Friday. You can set your watch to me. You know I'm coming if you don't know anything else. That's discipline. And the same discipline that I apply is the same discipline that you have access to. The same discipline that made me this version of me is the same discipline that can make you a reflection of this version of me, if not something far greater. But we only tend to think that other people can do it, not ourselves. No, I'm just a reflection of what you have the potential to become. I just bring 5-star energy to everything I do. I'm spending energy anyway. I'm gonna either spend my time complaining about the life that I don't want, or I'm gonna spend my time building the life that I want, but the time is being spent regardless. I'm gonna either spend my time hanging out with you with some low vibrational conversation, or I could have spent that time hanging out with somebody that was inspiring me and motivating, but the time is being spent regardless. It's all about where you sit your time down at. And how you see your time is a reflection of how you see yourself. Period. Here's something that we got to understand. God gives gifts freely, but greatness requires training. God gives gifts freely, but the greatness requires training. Why is that important? Because there would be we would have no appreciation for life, beloved. Everybody would be driving around in Rolls Royces and limousines and mansions and all of these other things. He's saying, I'm gonna put in you the same thing that I put in everybody else. The difference is that will you unlock the discipline? So when you see all these people struggling, they didn't unlock the discipline. When you see all of these people not loving themselves, they didn't unlock the discipline. When you see all of these people showing up small, they didn't unlock the discipline. Not because it wasn't there. No, we ain't gonna tell that lie. Not because it wasn't there. They just didn't unlock it. But they marvel at the people that unlocked it. Just look out today. Just look around. The people that you see that are winning in life are people that made the choice to unlock the discipline. That was it. That's all they did. That's what separates you from them. And there are people that look at your life and marvel at your life. And what separates you from that person is discipline. You just had discipline in the particular area of your life that this person didn't have. Period. I tell you guys this all the time. If you look to the left, you're going to always see someone that you're doing better than. If you look to the right, you're going to always see someone that's doing better than you. What separates you guys? Discipline. Period. When you go to that gym, you see that person walking around with that 5-star body. The only thing that separates that person from you is the fact that they were more disciplined than you. That's it. That's all. They may be a little bit taller. They may be a little bit shorter. None of that matters. What matters is the fact that they imparted discipline in a particular area of your life that you haven't. That's the only thing that makes you different from that person. It's all about the discipline. So when I see other people, I don't judge the person, or I don't make assumptions about the person. I marvel at the level of discipline that it took for that person to get to that particular place. That's what I marvel at. And then in that moment, I get inspired. In that moment, I get motivated because I say, you know what, if I turn my discipline up in this particular area over here, I can go and get that as well. So the person becomes motivation, the person becomes inspiration. I'm not hating on the person. I'm not tearing down their success. I'm not doing any of that. I'm looking at that person, and that person is carrying my reflection. They're carrying a reflection of what my life could look like if I were to impart discipline in that particular area of my life. That's when you look out, when you move out through the world, that's all you should be looking at. You see that person with that car that you want, what separates you from that person is discipline. That's it, that's all. So, but what you're also looking at, what God is letting you see in that moment, is that's a reflection of a life you could have. You do realize that. You do realize you can have that life, or that car, or that bag, or that house, or that high rise, or that fill in the blank. Everything is just carrying a reflection of what you have the potential to become. That's all you should see. So when I walk outside, I'm just looking at reflections of what I could have. That's all you should see. And we ain't got time to hate on. What would you hate on the person for? The person ain't got nothing no better than you have. What would you be hating on them for? What would you do that? The person is carrying the level of discipline that you're not carrying in that moment in that particular area of life. It's nothing to hate on. Nothing at all. So one more time, God gives you the gifts freely, but the greatness requires training. Your greatness requires training, beloved. It requires training, because if it didn't require training, every single person would be walking around with it on display right now. Everywhere you go, you will see greatness on display, which means that we wouldn't appreciate it. If everyone was walking around the greatest version of themselves, we would have no appreciation for it. There would be no appreciation for it. You would have nothing to work toward. You would not have nothing to strive for, because it would be everywhere around you. The anointing is free, but excellence is expensive. Write that down. The anointing is free, but excellence is expensive. I'm not talking about expensive here. Expensive when it comes to your energy, expensive when it comes to your focus, expensive when it comes to your dedication, expensive when it comes to your commitment, expensive when it comes to your discipline. The anointing was free. God already gave it to you. He already anointed you. You already could be walking around a king or a queen. It's all predicated. I want you to think about the game of chess. You may have never played chess in your life, but the game of chess is actually predicated from life. The game of chess was actually created by people that were self-aware. So let me just give you something in case you don't know. Let me tell you about the game of chess. Every piece, all of the pawns on that chessboard are all kings or queens, all of them. Every single pawn on that chessboard has the potential to grow up and be a queen. Queen is the most powerful one on the board. Nothing on that chessboard is more powerful than that queen. Nothing. So when you're looking at a chessboard, every single pawn has the potential to grow up and be a queen. Okay, freeze that thought. Every single person that God has ever created has the potential to grow up and be a king or a queen of your environment, a king or a queen of your life, having complete dominion over your life. But when you show up with a mediocre mindset, when you show up with all this procrastination, when you show up and you go showing up small in your own life, when you show up, you're not being the most authentic version of yourself. You play yourself out of your queendom. You play yourself out of your kingdom, not because somebody took something from you, but because of who you decided to become, because of what you decided to bring to the moment. But the point not to be missed is everything he needed to put in you to make you a king, to make you a queen, you are carrying right now in this moment. Everything you need, you are carrying in this moment. The billion-dollar question is, who will you allow yourself to be? Not who will you become. Who will you allow yourself to be? What's up, Jessica? What's up, beloved? JDE, I see you. That's all he creates as kings and queens. That's all he creates. Every piece on that chessboard has the potential to grow up and be a queen. All of them. That part right there, Baron, I love it. I love that. I love that mindset. I love that mindset. I wish I could hang out with you all day with people that think that way. I love that mindset. Coach, I'm going to become the greatest human being walking on the face of this earth. I love it. Ain't no arrogance in that. That's all alignment. That's how you should be looking at it, because that's how God is looking at you. I created you to be the greatest ever, because there's no other model like yours. The model that you have, the model that you are, we ain't never had a you before. We will never have a you ever again in life. How can you not be the greatest version of you, and you're the only version of you? How can you not? Think about what I'm saying. If Ferrari only made one car, let's just say they only made one car. They only made one of this particular model. How's that not the greatest model? And it's the only one. How is it not? It's the only one we got. So when God created you, he created one model. Ain't no other model. Can't compare the one model that you are to any other model. There is no other model. So how are you not the greatest version of you? And you're the only model of you. You are the only walking, talking billboard for the creation that is you. And other creations. Our goal is to figure out why he created you. That's the journey. That's the most beautiful part of it, is the why. Because the day you step into your why, the day you step into knowing, where there's no misunderstandings with respect to why he created you, it's going to be the greatest day of your life. Two most important days of your life: the day you were born and then the day you realize why you were born. Two most important days. Ain't nothing more powerful than knowing. Nothing. So one more time, the anointing is free, but the excellence is expensive. Purpose is given, but discipline must be developed. You must force yourself into development. One of the biggest misconceptions is the belief that God will do it for you. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. You got all these people walking around thinking that way. No, he will not do it for you, but he will do it through you. Not for you, through you. Big difference. Big difference. Elaine, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. So one more time, one of the biggest misconceptions is the belief that God will do it for you. No, he will not. He will do it through you, not for you. God will not study for you. God will not wake you up in the morning. God will not break your addiction to porn. He will not break your addiction to drugs. He will not break your addiction to the alcohol. God will not organize your life for you. God will not delete the distractions from your phone. God will not tell your friends to stop wasting your time. And God will not force you to leave the toxic relationship. He won't do any of that for you because he gave you free will. God's not going to wake you up in the morning. He's not going to tell you that it's time to chase your goals. He's not going to tell you to chase your purpose. He's not going to tell you to chase greatness. He's not going to do any of that because he gave you free will. And that's the problem right there, because you can become the greatest version of you right now, or you can remain who you are. That's your choice, beloved. But your life is a reflection of your choices right now in this moment. Look at your whole life. You don't need to blame people. You don't need to, oh, I was poor. You don't need to blame anything. You need to blame your choices, because your choices has you exactly where you are right now. Your choices has you in that relationship. Your choices has you at that job. Your choices has you with the circle of friends that you have. Your choices have you with the quality of life you have. It's all predicated on the choices you have made leading up to this moment. So don't be mad at anyone else. I can't give you anything that you don't choose to accept, period. Life has never tried to hand you anything. You make a choice. You surrender to things. I surrender to the relationship. I surrender to the job. I surrender to low vibrational people. I surrender to my procrastination. I surrender to my doubt. I surrender to low vibrational people. I'm surrendering to things that's out of alignment with my greatness. That's the problem. Not what you answer to. What do you surrender to? See, we always want to blame somebody else. No, you surrender into some things. I can be the most toxic person in the history of toxic people. I can't make you accept it. I bet you that. So I don't want to hear anything about culture. This person gave me less than I deserve. BS. I could be the most toxic person in the history of toxic people. I can't make you accept my behavior. I can't make you accept my attitude. I can't make you sit there and listen to me. I can't make you tolerate the disrespect. I can't make you show up small. I can't make you walk on. I can't make you do anything. That's why God made you the way he made you. Can't nobody make you do anything. Anything you are not changing in your life, you are choosing. If you do not change it, it's because you are choosing it. And if you are choosing it, it's because that's what you believe you deserve. Sip that, don't drink it. See, one more time. If you allergic to the truth, this is not the platform for you. You might want to scroll down the street. You got time. They still doing the little dances. You can catch that last dance. They got one more round of dancing going on down the street. You can catch it. Let me say this one more time, because this bears repeating. Beloved, God is not going to study for you. God is not going to remove you from that toxic relationship. God is not going to tell your friends to stop wasting your time. God is not going to tell that person to stop disrespecting you. God is not going to tell you to stop showing up small. God is not going to tell you to stop procrastinating. He's not going to tell you to chase your goals. He's not going to come and wake you up in the morning. All of this is on you. Why? Because everything you need to transform yourself into the greatest version of you, he's already given you, beloved. He's like, what more do you want? I gave you 5-star belief. I put unconditional love in you. I put faith in you. I put loyalty in you. I gave you a quantum computer capable of sending rockets to the moon, capable of creating fully autonomous vehicles, capable of building skyscrapers, capable of transforming nations, capable of leading any person out of any situation. I gave you everything already. What more do you want from me? What more do you want from me? I gave you the belief. I gave you vision. I gave you mindset. I gave you love. I gave you your family. I gave you your children. I'm not asking you to show up for anything. I'm asking you to show up for yourself. He ain't even asking you to show up for him. He asking you to show up for yourself. We struggling with that. If I'm him, I'm like, damn, what you want me to do? Everything you got in your life right now is because of me. What did you have to bring to the table? That's the $1 billion question. What did you bring to the table? Besides your problems, besides what's missing from your life, besides what you don't have, besides who's not showing up for you, besides what you think you need, what are you bringing to the table outside of what I've given you? What have you created with everything that I've given you, with the life that I've given you? I ain't asking you to cure cancer. I'm not asking you to end homelessness. I'm not asking you to change the world. I'm asking you to change yourself. I mean, damn, y'all, come on, man. We got to have a real conversation, Mindset Masters family. What is he asking us? He ain't asking us for nothing. He ain't asking us for nothing. What is he asking you for? Not asking us for anything. but has given us everything. We struggle to manage what he's given us. Then we want him to come pull us out of the toxic relationship and come give us the new job. What you gonna do then? He gonna look at it like, why do I need you? If I gotta come pull you out of the relationship, come pull you from the job, come pull you from the people, come wake you up in the morning, come hand you the life that you want, that you sit here praying for every day, come give you, then why do I need you? Why do I need you? What are you bringing to the situation? Did you bring the discipline to the situation? Did you bring your energy to the situation? Did you bring your passion to the situation? Did you bring burning desire to the situation? Did you bring a growth mindset to the situation? Or did you only bring your problems? What you show up with? See, what we fail to understand is that the universe is expanding at 2 million miles per second, beloved. That's not a play on words. You can Google that right now. The universe is expanding at 2 million miles a second. What does that mean, man? He built it. He ain't sitting around playing all day. God is constant movement, divine intelligence, consciousness, unconditional love. He is moving. The universe is expanding at 2 million miles a second. We can't even quantify what that means. We have no understanding what that means. We're struggling to. He's like, wait a minute, I got to slow down. I'm sitting here building the universe at 2 million miles a second so you can have more. And we sit here trying to figure out how to get you out the toxic relationship, leave that situation. We sit here trying to figure out how to get you out the job that you're complaining about. Leave that situation. You got to bring burning desire, man. You have to have a desire to become something greater than you are right now, beloved, because greatness is what you come from. Stop settling for a life that you don't love. Stop giving the wrong people access to you. Stop showing up small in your own life. Stop walking around people that you can't speak your truth to. That's the number one indicator that you need to remove yourself. When I can't speak my truth around you, it's time for me to bounce. When my truth is too heavy for you, it's time for me to bounce. Those are all indicators. I'm going to be exactly who I am. Matter of fact, I'm going to be the 5-star version of me. And I wish you tell me that you can't handle it, because you're going to be the first person out of my life. First class ticket, you out. First class. First class ticket, you out of here. You out of here. We got people walking around. You can't speak your truth around this person. You got to manage this person's emotions. You showing up small in your own life. Can't speak your truth in your relationship. Showing up as some lesser version of you. Allowing you, shrinking in the moment, and all these other things like that. I'm out. I'd rather sleep in the park with the dog. I'd rather sleep in the park with the dog. Me and the dog in the park, on the bench, cold as hell, but I'm going to be free. Cold as hell, but I'm going to be game planning. Cold as hell, but I'm going to be strategizing. I will figure it out from there. I guarantee it. God is going to make a way. That's it. That's all. Showing up to some low vibrational life. Wish I would. And trust me, I done started over from the bottom. I done started over from the bottom. Too many times. Matter of fact, I done started over from the bottom so many times, I can write a playbook on it. That might be low key why he picked me to do what I do, because I done started from the bottom too many times. I didn't have to start over too many times, so I ain't got no problem walking away. I ain't got no time. We're gonna blow everything up. We're gonna blow everything up, and we're gonna build something. We're gonna blow everything up. What we gonna do? Because what we're not gonna do is to do the disrespect. What we're not gonna do is me showing up small. What we're not gonna do is me being low. What we're not gonna do is me silencing my voice. We're not gonna do any of that. So what we gonna do? We're gonna either blow this relationship up, or we're gonna build something. Which one we gonna do? Make a choice. And if you take too long, I'm gonna make the choice for you. Because I ain't got no problem being by myself. I've done it too many times. I don't lose nothing when I lose you. You're gonna lose everything when you lose me. Because I'm gonna take that energy from me having to walk away from that situation, and I'm gonna transmute that energy. And that's gonna be the very energy that's gonna bring me that 5-star lifestyle. Guaranteed. That's what God created you for. He created you to alchemize every negative situation that's happening in your life. Anything that's not going the way you needed to go, you alchemize that situation. What does that mean? You pull the energy from that situation. And instead of allowing that energy to attack you and to sit on you and to cause you to spiral into depression, hell no. That's the very energy that you use to go start your LLC. That's the very energy that you use to go get your business credit intact. That's the very energy that you use to go start that book or just go start that kickboxing class, to go do that yoga. Transmute that energy. That's what he created you for, to turn every negative into a positive. Because every negative is already a positive. It's already a positive. It's just the way that we're looking at the situation. Everything that's going wrong in your life is just coming from your perception of the situation. It's not something that's wrong. It's something that's out of alignment with who you are. You call it wrong, but somebody else would call it right, beloved. Somebody else would call it right. It's all based upon your perception. Everything is based on your perception. Everything is based on, it's all working for you, beloved. All of it's working for you. There's nothing not working for you. There's just things that are in alignment with you, and there's things that's out of alignment with you. When it's out of alignment, you call it wrong. But there's actually nothing wrong with it. You just not the right, and there's nothing wrong with the person. The person, you just transcended the relationship. And once that relationship has hit its expiration date, and you're trying to piece it back together and go talk to the therapist and get self-help books and Google certain information about how can I get my relationship back intact, all of those are indicators that the relationship's over. You just transcended it. It's time. The person came into your life and did exactly what they came to do. The person came into your life to unlock a version of you that you didn't have access to before that person, before you met that person. That's really why they were in your life. When people walk out of your life, it's because their assignment is over. That's what you don't understand. This is what I mean. One more time, suffering happens. Suffering means that I am ignorant of my true nature. I am ignorant to who I am. And that's one of the things that keeps us all blind. You don't understand that when a person comes into your life, they're only coming in to help you to unlock a version of yourself that you currently don't have access to. Once that assignment is over, that person will exit your life. There's nothing more for them to teach you. There's nothing more for you to learn. Maybe that was a baby came from that. Maybe some business opportunity came from that. Maybe some, but you never lose in that situation. 3 things you got from that situation: wisdom, awareness, endurance. I can tell you that right now. I can look at every relationship you've ever had, and I can tell you those 3 things you got out of the relationship. If you didn't get anything else out, you got wisdom, you got endurance, and you got awareness. Meaning, once you were on the other side of that relationship, those are the 3 things that you got. But those are the 3 things that the relationship needed to give you. They were 3 gifts. Look at your relationship. You're more aware, you have more wisdom, and you have endurance. What does that mean? That means that if you look back at that relationship, you won't want to enter the relationship again because you know things now on the other side of it that you didn't know before you stepped into the relationship. You're smarter now. You're better now. You're more advanced now. That relationship was important to get you to your ultimate relationship. You had to go through that one to get to the next one. That's how it works. That's how it works. And if you look back over your life, you'll see it. But if all you do is complain about what they didn't do and what they didn't give you and they lied and they cheated, you're focusing on the negative aspects of it. But there's a negative aspect to every area of life. If you want to look at it through that filter, what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. So you're just choosing to look at what's wrong, which means that it's going to produce your unhappiness and your depression and your all of these things because that's what you're choosing to focus on. The life you receive is the one you focus on. I'm telling you now, if you look back over every one of your relationships, I can dissect every one of your relationships and I can show you how you are a better version of yourself today than you were before you ever stepped into that relationship. Meaning that if I could take the version of you that you were before you got into the relationship, and I can take the version of you that you are today, you would run circles around this version of you. Because you're smarter, you're stronger, you're smarter, you're better, you're faster, you're all of those things. I don't even have to know you personally to know that. I'm telling you, that relationship gave you things that you are blind to right now. That's what I'm trying to get you. God is paying attention to what you received from the relationship, not to what the person didn't do. He's not focused on what they didn't do. You're focused on what they didn't do. He's focused on what you received because what you received is going to help to unlock your gift, help to unlock your purpose, help to unlock your destiny. All of that was necessary. So that person came into your life and they helped you to unlock some things that you're not paying attention to because you're focused on what they didn't do. My opinion on what's that? You said you're starting to get a glimpse. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, man.
I'm just telling you, the baddest thing on the planet is you. The day you realize that, you're going to be unstoppable. The baddest thing on the planet is you. If you ain't around people that's putting that in your ear 24 hours, 7 days a week, then that's problem number one. You have to surround yourself with people that remind you of who you are, what you are becoming, and what you have the potential to become, period. Or they don't deserve to have access to you. We don't need people reminding you who you used to be. We don't need people reminding you what went wrong. We don't need people reminding you what you don't have. We don't need people that carry the reflection of who you used to be. You have to surround yourself with people that reflect your potential, not people that reflect your past, not people that reflect your pain. And it's so important that we understand that. I'm telling you, you're the baddest thing walking. Man, I'm telling you, if you was with me 6 months, give me 6 months with you. 6 months. You be like, Coach, I'm ready to go to UFC, and I ain't never fought in my life, but I'm ready to. I'm so confident right now. I think I might beat the world champion UFC fighter. That's gonna be your mindset. You might not be able to beat him, but you gonna sure think you can. You gonna think you can. No, you really won't need 6 months. You might be too powerful in 6 months, but if you give me a full 6. All right, let me get back into this. Let me get back. Let me put a bow on this real quick, you guys. Let me put a bow on this. Let me see if I can land this plane. Let me land this plane for you guys real quick. I'm telling you, I promise you, I've been doing this too long. I promise you. I promise you. Don't ask me to cook nothing. Don't ask me to cut the grass. Don't ask me to help you hang the painting. It's going to be crooked. Don't ask me for none of that. But when it comes time to mindset, when it comes time to self-mastery, when it comes time to self-awareness, when it comes time to consciousness, when it comes time to unlocking your greatness, I better be the first person you call. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let me put a bow on this real quick. Let me put a bow on this. Like I said, I'm not the one to come walk the dog, none of that. Because the dog's gonna be gone somewhere. He's gonna be running down the street. So let me say this real quick. God provides grace, but grace is not a substitute for a lack of discipline. So one more time, God provides grace, but grace is not a substitute for a lack of self-discipline. Grace is an empowerment to discipline, but it's not a substitute for it. Grace gives you the strength to do what you must do, not an excuse to avoid doing it. A person without discipline is defenseless. Their future can be stolen. I don't think you hear, Queen, I see you, beloved. I don't think you hear what I'm saying. You guys. I don't think you hear it. I think some of you guys are hearing me intellectually, right? You're hearing me intellectually, but I don't know if you're really hearing me spiritually. One more time. Grace gives you the strength to do what you must do, not an excuse to avoid doing it. That's where we start. A person without discipline is defenseless. A person without discipline is defenseless, beloved. Their future can be stolen. Their time can be wasted. Their purpose can be hijacked. Their potential can be mismanaged. Because if you cannot rule yourself, life will rule you. People will rule you. Your emotions will rule you. Your circumstances will rule you. Come on, this is the most important thing. I'm going to say that one more time. Grace gives you the strength to do what you must do,
but not an excuse to avoid doing it. A person without discipline is completely defenseless. Their future can be stolen, their time can be wasted, their purpose can be hijacked, their potential can be mismanaged. Because if you cannot rule yourself, then life will rule you. People will rule you. Your emotions will rule you. And your circumstances will rule you. Discipline is self-government. If you cannot govern yourself, you disqualify yourself from governing anything that God wants you to manage. Let me say that one more time. If you cannot govern yourself, then you disqualify yourself from governing anything that God wants to trust you with. Let me say this to you. Destiny is not achieved through desire. It is achieved through decisions repeated daily. Discipline is not an event. It's a lifestyle. You don't become who you said you would. You don't become who you said you would be through a moment of inspiration. You become it through consistent alignment. Consistency is the currency of transformation. Do me a favor, real quick, you guys. Let's get the lights up so that we can get the medicine out. Do me a favor and share the live to your stories. If you haven't already done so, please share the live. Yeah, discipline is spiritual intelligence. That's why people, I don't think that's what, I'm so glad that you said that, beloved. I don't think people really understand that. Discipline is spiritual intelligence. That's why people don't teach. Anything that a person didn't teach you, there's a reason why they didn't teach it to you. Anything that you didn't hear about, there's a reason why you didn't hear about it. Because hearing about like self-awareness, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, but self-awareness more specifically, right? Because it would have unlocked something in you. Discipline would unlock something in you because it's spiritual intelligence, beloved. It ain't got nothing to do with what you think it is. It's none of what you think it is. It's the only thing that can unlock your purpose. God measures your life not based upon what you've achieved. He measures your life based upon the strength of your discipline because your discipline tells him who you really are. When you don't have discipline, he doesn't know who you are. You don't know who you are. One more time, a person without discipline is completely defenseless. You got no defense. You're like a city without walls. And a city without walls is a liability because anybody can come and raid the city. Anybody can distract you. Anybody can derail you. Anybody can waste your time. Right? So consistency is the currency of transformation. One day of discipline changes nothing. 1 week of discipline will inspire you. 1 year of discipline transforms you. But 2 years worth of discipline makes you unstoppable. 2 years of discipline, they won't recognize you. 2 years of discipline, they won't be able to guard you. 2 years of discipline, you will be standing in the life that you want. I guarantee it. Get yourself a calendar and mark on that calendar 2 years from today and watch where you standing. If you apply discipline to every area of your life, just watch where you'll be standing. I can guarantee you'll be standing in the life that's on your vision board right now. I can guarantee you'll be standing in the shoes of all of your goals and dreams. I can guarantee it because I'm a reflection of it. I can guarantee it. And I'm going to tell you another thing. So much of your suffering is going to be gone. So all that pain is going to be gone because you're not going to be out of alignment anymore. That's the most beautiful thing. You won't be out of alignment anymore. Your discipline alone is going to keep you in alignment because it's going to keep you away from all them low vibrational people. All of those environments that take you out of alignment with who you are ultimately becoming. It's going to take you. The discipline alone is going to remove all the BS out your life. Discipline alone is going to do that. It's going to come in and clean house. So one more time, 1 day of discipline changes nothing. Don't even waste your time. 1 week of discipline will only inspire you. 1 year of discipline will transform you. 2 years of discipline will make you unstoppable. People don't fail in life. They fail in consistency. Think about that. People do not, you ain't never met a person in the history of your life that failed in life. It's humanly impossible for you to fail in life. So people don't fail in life. They fail in consistency. They fail in a lack of self-discipline. They fail in a lack of self-love. They fail in a lack of believing in themselves. That's what they fail in. Now we're going to blame life because that's what we do. But people don't fail in life. They fail in consistency. You ain't never failed in your life. You ain't never, it's humanly impossible to fail in life. You can't fail in life. Even if you fall, you're going to fall forward. You don't fail in life. You ain't never failed in life. You ain't had a failed relationship. Every single relationship taught you something that you didn't know before you entered the relationship. So how can you call it a failure? How can you call anything a failure when it made you smarter? You can only call something a failure when you walked away, not only the same version of yourself that you were when you encountered the situation, but you're no more wiser, you're no more smarter, you're no more talented, you're no more skilled. Come on now. You ain't never had a failed relationship. Every relationship was getting you to the next relationship. So you had to go through some things. And you're going through things so that you can appreciate that best relationship that's coming. Yeah, the best one is on the way. The one behind you is not the best one. God will never take the best you've ever had. You got to understand how your Father works. He will never remove the best you've ever had. Never. Because if it's the best you've ever had, there's nothing to remove. The relationships that fell apart were not the best you've ever had. That's the reason why they fell apart. Come on, let's turn our spiritual intelligence up. There's a reason why they fell apart. They fell apart because they were not the best you've ever had. Why? Because they were preparing you for the best you've ever had. Everything is preparation. When it comes to God, everything is preparation. You are being prepared right now. One more time. What's wrong is always available, but so is what's right. Now, if you choose to look at that, your life through the filter of what's wrong, that's all you're going to see, beloved. So I just want you to understand all your suffering, all that pain, all that unhappiness, all of the depression is coming from the filter that you choose to see your life through. So just understand that. I'm not asking you to change your life. I'm just telling you, you might want to investigate the filter that you're looking at it through. Yeah, you hear that bird chirping in the background? He teaches self-awareness out there too. It's about 5 little birds. They all learning self-awareness right now. They listening. All of them. Y'all think I'm lying? They out there teaching self-awareness right now. They was like, Coach, why you hating on us, Coach? Well, I mean, dang, we can't learn the self-awareness. You act like we ain't got to worry. We trying to be. Yeah, you hear the birds? I'm telling you, they out there teaching right now. They got a master class going on right now. I need to be charging. All the stuff they didn't learn from me, I need to be charging them. Gonna take my information and go teach the little birds on the other side of town. I'm like, look, we don't talk to them birds on the other side of town. We don't talk to them on the other side of town. Now, if y'all want to keep it in the backyard, keep it in the backyard. Yeah, they chirping to pay the bills. Yeah, they're my little buddies though. I'm telling you, they out there teaching, coaching, certifications going on, master classes going on. I'm telling y'all, they might be more self-aware than some of y'all. Let me put a bow on this though. Getting back into, yeah, chosen, I see you, beloved. Let me put a bow on this though. Valerie, I see you, beloved. Then now I'm telling you. Shoot, they be teaching me some stuff every now and then. Let me see.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Here's the mastery in all of it. Every time God reveals a future version of you, he hides it behind a wall of discipline. Right? Every single time that God reveals, look at your life, look at it right now, especially for the people in the Mindset Masters family. You should see it. You should see it right now. Every time he reveals a future version of you, he hides it behind a wall of discipline. Think about what I'm saying. So you have an opportunity right now to become the self-aware version of you, right? You have an opportunity to acquire emotional intelligence. You have an opportunity to acquire self-mastery, right? All available right now. All available right now. Okay, but where's it hidden behind? What is it tucked behind? The wall of discipline, the wall of you showing up, the wall of consistency, right? That's where it's at. But we ain't talking about money here. So the most powerful version of you is not hiding behind some wall of money. The most powerful version of you ain't got to swim across the ocean to get to it. The most powerful version of you don't have to need to climb the mountain to talk to some guru. He put it right in your face. He put it right in your face. He put it right in your lap. You have to scale the wall of discipline to unlock that future version of yourself. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. But if you don't unlock the discipline, you won't get it. Not because it wasn't available to you, not because he tricked you, not because he gave you, not because he dangled some carrot in front of you that you didn't have the ability to bring the situation to the forefront. No, everything that you need to become the greatest version of you, you're in possession of right now. So he's saying, okay, you want this next version of you. It's hidden behind the wall of discipline. You have a sea of discipline in you. You have a sea of belief in you. You have a sea of faith in you. You have everything you need in you right now to unlock that version of you. My question to you is, will you love yourself enough to unlock it? That's it. Will you love yourself enough to unlock it? Leticia, I appreciate that, beloved. I appreciate that, beloved. Will you love yourself enough to unlock it? That's the only question we got. And don't let your light speak for you when your dark is the one that needs to be speaking. I need you to bring your dark to the light. Because that's the version of you I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to the version in the chat that's always saying, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to change the world. No, we need to talk to that version of you that you transform into when you're not on the chat. Because that's the only person that can really speak for you. That's who I want to talk to. I need to shadow box with that version of you. So one more time, every time God reveals a future version of you, he hides it behind a wall of discipline. God never gives greatness fully developed. He hides greatness in responsibility. Come on, watch this. I'm giving you spiritual intelligence right here. Look, listen to what I'm saying. Every time God reveals a future version of you, and this is all stuff that you can verify right now. You can verify everything I'm saying right now. Every time God reveals a future version of you, he hides it behind a wall of discipline. Fact number one. God never gives greatness fully developed. Fact number two, your greatness is not fully developed. You're in the process of developing it right now. He hides greatness in responsibility. What's the responsibility? You showing up every single day like you've been doing for yourself, that you handling your responsibilities, right? He hides it in training. That's what you guys are doing with the shadow boxing, with the shadow boxing with me on the live streams, with listening to the podcast. All of that is your training. I'm showing you in real time, right? He hides it in the consistency. What do I have to do? I got to show up consistent, like Red is doing, like Leticia is doing, like Deborah is doing, like Sefe is doing, right? Like so many of you guys are doing, Paulina is doing, Monica is doing, like so many of you guys are doing, right? You bring in the consistency, right? He hides it in your routine. So you have a certain routine. Some of you guys study a certain way. Brianna, I see you as well, beloved. I know she's going hard. You have a certain routine to how you studying and how you shadow boxing and how often you in the community. There's a routine there. Who you're going to become is going to be the version of you that stands on the other side of that routine. So you got to check that routine, because that routine is critically important. If you reject the process, you reject the promise. If you reject the process, you reject the promise.
If you avoid the discipline, you avoid your destiny. Let's put the car in park right there. Let's put the car in park right there. We want to make sure we don't speed over that. We can't speed bump our way over that one. Let me say that one more time. If you reject the process, you reject God's promise to you, not because he didn't deliver, not because he didn't come through, because you rejected the process. You didn't want to stop being who you were so that you can transform into who you could be. If you avoid the discipline, you avoid your destiny. That terrifies me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different or weird, quirky, whatever you want to call it. That terrifies me. That terrifies me. When you avoid the discipline, you avoid your destiny. When you avoid the discipline, you forfeit your destiny. Have you ever been to a basketball game? When something happens on the other team, I mean, you see it in high school and you see it in middle school. Well, the other team has to forfeit. Something happened, and this team gets a win, but they didn't get a win because they earned it. They got a win because the other team had to forfeit. Something happened. Maybe some of their players got hurt. They only had 4 players, so they had to forfeit, and the other team gets a win. But it's not a win that they deserved. It's not a win that they worked for. And what I'm saying is this. When you don't insert the discipline, when you don't impart the discipline, you forfeit your destiny. You forfeit the greatness. That should scare the hell out of you. Because what do I settle for if I don't make it to the destiny? What do I settle for if I don't become? What do I settle for? Who do I ultimately become? That scares me. I don't know. Ain't no relationship in the world worth that. But those are some of the reasons why you won't make it. Hanging out with low vibrational people, some of the reasons why you won't make it. Your procrastination, some of the reasons why you don't make it. All of the excuses, even though every time you make an excuse, you're making a deposit into who you used to be. All that we won't make it. When everything you needed to get you across the finish line of who you are ultimately supposed to become, you are in possession of right now. Has nothing to do with your financial situation. Let me say this to you. This should hit you in what I'm getting ready to say next should hit you in your spirit. What I'm getting ready should rock your whole spirit right now. God will only trust the future to those who master the present. I said, God will only trust the future to those who master the present. If you cannot manage now, how can you handle what's next? If you cannot manage now, how you gonna handle what's next? That's what he's looking at you like. He's like, you praying for this 5-star life, but you can't manage what's now. So you won't be able to manage this. And if I set this life on you, I'm going to cripple you. If I set the life on you that you're praying for, I'm going to cripple you because you can't manage what's now. He will only trust the future to those that master the present. If you can't master your present, how will you master what's next? Because your what's next is going to be a reflection of whatever your present moment is. So one more time, God will only trust the future to those who master the present. If you cannot manage now, you cannot handle what's next. Purpose is supposed to drive your discipline, not your emotions. I said purpose is supposed to drive your discipline, not your emotions. Purpose creates pressure. Purpose makes you uncomfortable with mediocrity. Purpose forces you to outgrow people who are comfortable with yesterday's version of themselves. Purpose disrupts old patterns. Purpose demands structure. Purpose requires order. Many people want destiny, but they resist the discomfort to achieve it. You want greatness, but you resisting the discomfort that it takes to get you to the greatness. Let me tell you this truth. Let me tell you this truth. You will never become who you said you would be inside of your comfort zone. You will never become who you said you would be inside of your comfort zone. Comfort is the enemy of your future. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the enemy of discipline. And anything that keeps you comfortable is keeping you from becoming who God designed you to be. Period. Sometimes God allows discomfort in your life because he's forcing you out of a version that cannot fulfill your purpose. For some of you guys, I need you to lock in right now because you've got some discomfort in your life and you need to understand that discomfort is divine intelligence. Discomfort is God's way of pushing you out of a version of yourself that you have outgrown. Discomfort is God's way of pushing you out of a relationship that you have outgrown. Discomfort is a way of pushing you out of that job. So when you say, well, you know, well, he ain't working on me or he ain't doing, he is. The discomfort that's coming from him. Again, I'm giving you spiritual intelligence right now. Discomfort is divine intelligence, just like discipline. If you have discomfort anywhere in your life, it means that you are supposed to move on away from whatever that thing is that's making you uncomfortable. So one more time. Purpose is supposed to drive discipline, not your emotions. Purpose creates pressure. Purpose makes you uncomfortable with mediocrity. Purpose forces you to outgrow people who are comfortable with yesterday's version of themselves. Purpose disrupts old patterns. Purpose demands structure. Purpose requires order. Many people want destiny, but resist the discomfort required to achieve it. You will never become who you said you would be inside of your comfort zone. Comfort is the enemy of your future, beloved. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the enemy of discipline. And anything that keeps you comfortable is keeping you away from what God designed you to be. Here's the spiritual intelligence. Sometimes God allows discomfort in your life because he is forcing you out of a version of yourself that cannot fulfill your purpose. If there's any discomfort in your life, what that means is that the version of yourself that you are in that situation that's making you uncomfortable can't take you to where you need to be. Period. Discomfort is often divine preparation. Discomfort is an announcement that you have outgrown where you are. That's what the discomfort in your life means. It means that you have outgrown where you are. Let me tell you why you suffer. Because you ignore the discomfort. Let me tell you why you suffer. Because you're trying to take the discomfort and you're trying to get this person to see your value, get this person to love you again, get this person to appreciate you, get things back to how they used to be. You are ignoring the discomfort in your life. The discomfort is there in your life to tell you that it's time for you to move on from whatever that particular thing is. That's God's divine push. We suffer when we push back against that. Discomfort is the signal that it's time for you to become who you said you would be. I said discomfort is the signal that it's time for you to become who you said you would be. You cannot become a disciplined person by wishing for discipline. Discipline must be practiced. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Let me say this and then I'm going to wrap it up. The first version of discipline you practice is going to be painful. Let me give you a warning right now, but it's not painful in the way that you think. The first version of discipline you practice will be painful, but after a while, it becomes natural. The pain you feel in the beginning is simply the old version of you resisting the new version of you. That's the pain. The only pain that you will experience when you are implementing and practicing discipline, I'm telling you right now, let me tell you where the pain is going to come from. It's not coming from reality. It's not coming because you're doing something wrong. It's coming because of the old version of you is resisting who you are becoming. Period. It's the only pain you're going to experience. All right. Let me set my mic down on that. Do me a favor real quick. I appreciate the gifts, you guys. I appreciate all of the gifts more than you guys know. I appreciate the gifts. You know, some of my students, you know, are in the pursuit of greatness. They are so close. Some of them are already standing in the shoes of it, but they are so close. And so it's pieces like this that I like to bring, you know, for them just to make sure that they are super locked in, because again, they're so close to becoming who they're ultimately supposed to be. It's a beautiful thing. Having said all of that, type me in the comments real quick if this is your first time with me on a live stream. Type me in the comments real fast.